The unexamined life is not worth living. Happiness depends upon ourselves. Know thyself. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. He who learns must suffer, and even in our sleep, pain that cannot forget falls drop by drop upon the heart. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. Pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. Quality is not an act, it is a habit. He who has overcome his fears will truly be free. No man has the right to be an amateur in the matter of physical training. It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. To find yourself, think for yourself. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. You will never do anything in this world without courage. It is the greatest quality of the mind next to honor. The mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. One of the penalties for refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. There is only one good knowledge and one evil ignorance. I count him braver who overcomes his desires than him who conquers his enemies, for the hardest victory is over self. Happiness resides not in possessions and not in gold. Happiness dwells in the soul. Wise men speak because they have something to say, fools because they have to say something. Courage is knowing what not to fear. It is impossible to begin to learn that which one thinks one already knows. Do not say a little in many words, but a great deal in a few. Good character is not formed in a week or a month. It is created little by little, day by day. Protracted and patient effort is needed to develop good character. The way to gain a good reputation is to endeavor to be what you desire to appear. Man is the measure of all things. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. The life of money-making is one undertaken by compulsion, and wealth is evidently not the good we are seeking, for it is merely useful and for the sake of something else. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Contentment is natural wealth. Luxury is artificial poverty. All men's souls are immortal, but the souls of the righteous are immortal and divine. What we achieve inwardly will change outer reality. No one is free who has not obtained the empire of himself. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy, not on fighting the old, but on building the new. We do not describe the world we see the world we can describe. There is nothing permanent except change. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. To love is to know we are truly alive. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Time is a created thing. To say I don't have time is like saying I don't want to. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. It is better to be hated for what you are than to be loved for what you are not. A room without books is like a body without a soul. The whole is more than the sum of its parts. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Man is the only creature who refuses to be what he is. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Self-control is the chief element in self-respect, and self-respect is the chief element in courage. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. People are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them. I begin to speak only when I'm certain what I'll say isn't better left unsaid. It is the nature of the wise to resist pleasures, but the foolish to be a slave to them. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. He who laughs at himself never runs out of things to laugh at. Nothing great is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. The best way to learn is to hear what you don't want to hear. To be even-minded is the greatest virtue. Much learning does not teach understanding. Man is most nearly himself when he achieves the seriousness of a child at play. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Small opportunities are often the beginning of great enterprises. He who is brave is free. We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. The difficulty comes from our lack of confidence. He who has great power should use it lightly. The bravest sight in the world is to see a great man struggling against adversity. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. Wealth is the slave of a wise man, the master of a fool. To be feared is much safer than to be loved. Remember that very little is needed to make a happy life. He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. The best answer to anger is silence. Look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will ever bubble up if thou wilt ever dig. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Confine yourself to the present. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight. Live out your life in truth and justice, tolerant of those who are neither true nor just. Life is neither good or evil, but only a place for good and evil. Whatever happens at all happens as it should. You will find this true if you watch narrowly.